Yes, feel free to start.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Aqaid al-Imamiyya by late Shaykh al-Mudaffar rahmatullah alayh, and our topic is also very interesting. It is about the idea of Raj'ah, the return. Number 32, Aqidatuna fi Raj'ah. This is connected to the discussion about Imam Mahdi Ajalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, because this return that we are talking about is going to take place after Imam Mahdi alayhi salam comes. So now we are going to see what do Shia believe about Raj'ah, and also we will see the reaction of some non-Shia to this idea, which has been sometimes beyond normal reactions. إن الذي تذهب إليه الإمامية أخذا بما جاء عن آل البيت عليهم السلام أن الله تعالى يعيد قوما من الأموات إلى الدنيا. What the Shia believe, following what they have received from Ahlul Bayt, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings back some of the dead people to this world. في صورهم التي كانوا عليها, in the same forms that they had before. So the same people would come back. فيعز فريقا ويذل فريقا آخر. He bring some of the best people and would give them more honor and dignity by seeing and being part of also the victory of the truth and justice. And some people who were always against peace and justice, they would come to be seeing the defeat. Maybe in dunya they were always in power, maybe they always were victorious, but finally in this world also they will be defeated. And this is of course before going to the hereafter and see the results of their actions and receiving the full justice there. But even in dunya there would be some kind of justice for them. وَيُدِيلُ الْمُحِقِّينَ مِنَ الْمُبْطِلِينَ وَالْمَظْلُومِينَ مِنْهُمْ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And then dawla and governance, but meaning also power and dignity, will be for those who are on the side of the truth and will be taken from the people who are people of falsehood. The oppressed would have this governance and power, and the oppressors will lose it. وَذَلِكَ عِنْدَ قِيَامِ مهدي آل محمد عليه وعليهم أفضل الصلاة والسلام. And this would be at the time of the uprising of Imam Mahdi. So after he declares his mission, this happens. Okay, who are the people who are going to return? As I said, it's not that every person will return, and it's not also random. There is a selection. Either the best, so that they can be on the side of the truth, or the worst that can be on the side of the falsehood. وَلَا يَرْجِعُ إِلَّا مَنْ عَلَتْ دَرَجَتُهُ فِي الْإِيمَانِ, would not return except those whose rank has been high in Iman, or مَنْ بَلَغَ الْغَايَةَ مِنَ الْفَسَادِ, or they have reached end of corruption. So the best of the best and the worst of the worst. ثُمَّ يَسِيرُونَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ إِلَى الْمَوْتِ. After that, of course, they die, like others die. وَمِن بَعْدِهِ إِلَى النُّشُورِ, then there would be resurrection. Everything else is happening. Like, for example, people who have not returned, they would also have the resurrection. But these people have to come again back to this world. So, وَمِن بَعْدِهِ إِلَى النُّشُورِ وَمَا يَسْتَحِقُونَهُ مِنَ الثَّوَابِ أَوِ الْعِقَابِ. And after resurrection, they will have what they deserve from reward or punishment. كما حكى الله تعالى في قرآنه الكريم تمني هؤلاء المرتجعين. In the same way that Allah in the Quran has related to us, has told us, informed us about the wish and desire of these people who come back. الذين لم يصلحوا بالارتجاع, but they have not become better by their return. فَنَالُوا مَقْتَ اللَّهِ, and they have reached the ghazab, the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They wish to return again and be resurrected again or revived again for the third time. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَصْلُحُونَ or يُصْلِحُونَ. يَصْلِحُونَ means themselves become salih. يُصْلِحُونَ means do amal salih. قالوا ربنا, this is Surah Mu'min or Surah Qafir, verse 11. قالوا ربنا أمتنا اثنتين وأحييتنا اثنتين فاعترفنا بذنوبنا فهل إلى خروج من سبيل. This ayah is very much discussed by Sunni, Shia, about how to interpret this ayah. The interpretation that seems very strong and also is something that we learn from the hadith is this, that أَمَتَّنَا اثْنَتَيْنِ وَأَحْيَيْتَنَا اثْنَتَيْنِ means twice being given life and twice losing life. It means life being taken away. So we come to this world first, then we die, then we are revived for raj'ah, then we die. So this is 2 revival and 2 death. And then they are asking for another time to come back. Some people say أَمَّتَّنَا اثْنَتَيْنِ means we were dead, كُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا فَأَحْيَاكُمْ. When we were dead before coming to this world, and then Allah gave us life, they say this death before is 1 amata, and then life is 1 ihya, then we die, we go to barzakh, the second death, then we are revived, for example, on the day of judgment or something like this. But this doesn't make sense, because the first death is not amata. Amata means to kill, to take life away. When we were not yet born and we didn't have life, kuntum amwatan, you were dead. You cannot say that was amata. So this can be more suitable for saying that we are once born. This is one life. Then we are killed, means our life is taken away. So it becomes 1 ihya, 1 amata. Then in raj'ah, 2nd ihya, then we die is 2nd amata. This seems more, suitable. نعم قد جاء القرآن الكريم بوقوع الرجعة إلى الدنيا. Quran in several places refers to some we can call local raj'a, or some individual cases of raj'a, and that is in addition to the universal raj'a. We have people that have come back to this world. For example, those that Isa alayhi salam revived them. That is a kind of raj'a. They have come back to this world. Or أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها قال أنى يحيي الله هذه بعد موتها فأماته الله 100 عام ثم بعثه قال كم لبثت قال لبثت يوما أو بعض يوم. This person also was taken, he was killed, his life was taken away, and then after 100 years Allah again gave him life and asked him how much you have stayed in that condition. He said يوما أو بعض يوم, a day or part of a day. And there are other cases. So, or that person that was killed in the time of, for example, Bani Israel, and then he was revived. So we have had cases of raj'a in smaller scales, and we have also that general raj'a in the Akhir al-Zaman, in time of Imam Mahdi Ajalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And we have lots of hadith وَتَضَافَرَتْ بِهَا الْأَخْبَارِ and Bayt al-Isma, from the house of the Isma, means from Ahlul Bayt. We have lots of hadith. Allama Majlisi Rahmatullah Alayh, in Bihar al-Anwar, volume 53, mentions many hadiths and verses of the Quran about raj'ah. And he says, whoever believes in Imams of Ahlul Bayt would have no doubt at all about raj'ah, because it is like mutawatir from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Not mutawatir for Sunni and Shia, but for the Shia is mutawatir, means in Shia sources, of course, if they also take hadith of Ahlul Bayt seriously, for them also becomes mutawatir. And he says that there are about 200 hadiths that explicitly mention raj'ah. And there are about 40 scholars that have mentioned the idea of raj'ah, like Shaykh al-Saduq, Shaykh Kulayni, Shaykh Tusi, Sayyid Murtada, Najashi, Kashi, Ayyashi, Qummi, Shaykh Mufid, Karajaki, Safar, Ibn Qulaway, Ibn Tawus, Tabarsi, Ibn Shahra Ashub, Rawandi. And these people, they have, confirmed this aqidah. Many books have been written about raj'ah. Sayyid Murtada Rahmatullah Alayh, brother of Sayyid al-Radi, the one who compiled Nahj al-Balagha, he says there is consensus of ulama of Shia that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the time of Imam Mahdi brings some of awliya and some of enemies, revives them. Imam Raza alayhi salam also. So there are many hadiths, many ulama. For the Shia, this aqidah is very established, very clear, although there are details about it, but the general idea, as much as Shaykh Muzaffar is mentioning here, is very clear for the Shia. Of course, as we will say, this is not something that if you don't believe you become kafir. This is not one of the major doctrines. If someone, a Muslim, has difficulty in understanding this can say whatever Allah knows, I accept that. It's not a big issue, but our problem is that unfortunately some people have not understood the idea of Raj'ah, and then instead of saying okay, we don't accept or we don't understand, they have attacked severely Shia. Maybe some people have thought this is a good way, a good excuse to attack Shia for even other ideas, because maybe they thought it's a weakness in the Shia, and they have been very sometimes cruel and harsh in attacking Shia because of the idea of Raj'ah. But Sheikh Muzaffar will explain, inshallah we will see that. He says, okay, you don't believe in this interpretation, you don't believe in these hadiths, but okay, take it easy. It's not a big thing. It's not impossible. When resurrection is possible, when it's possible, Isa brings people back, and many cases in the Quran. Okay, hukmul amthal fima yajuz wa fima la yajuz wahid. If something is possible, its similars are also possible. If you don't believe in those hadiths or interpretations, okay, you can say that is one ijtihad, one understanding. Why you are so much sometimes hostile to the Shia? الإمامية بأجمعها عليه إلا قليلون منهم, except a very small group of Shia. All Shia have agreed about Raj'ah. Those قليلون, those who are small in number, تأولوا ما ورد في الرجعة بأن معناها رجوع الدولة والأمر والنهي إلى آل البيت. They said Raj'ah doesn't mean that actually people and the dead people come back. It's not about return of people, it's about return of government, return of ability to do Amrunai, coming back, means power of exercising religion comes back to Ahlul Bayt with the appearance of Imam Mahdi, without return of actual people and without revival of the dead. So some people have tried to interpret in that way, but it's very difficult with hundreds of hadiths to interpret in this way. والقول بالرجعة يعد عند أهل السنة من المستنكرات التي يستقبح الاعتقاد بها. The idea of return among Ahl Sunnah, or some of them, has been considered as one of the things which are considered to be mustankar, means not acceptable. They found it, like a munkar, means something which is wrong, something that is not acknowledged, not recognized. وكان المؤلفون منهم في رجال الحديث. Some of the scholars who have written books on Ilm al-Rajal, biography of the narrators of hadith, when they saw someone believed in Raj'ah, they took this as a sign of weakness and not being reliable narrator. كان المؤلفون منهم في رجال الحديث يعدون الاعتقاد بالرجعة من الطعون. طعون is plural for ta'an. It's a kind of problem for the narrator if he believed in Raj'ah. والشناعات عليه, and they consider it as something very ugly, to the extent that it leads to رفض تستوجب رفض روايته. His hadith should be rejected. وطرحها, throw it away, because he believes in Raj'ah. Throw away whatever he has narrated from Prophet, or in the case of, for example, companions of the Prophet, etc. Because for our Sunni brothers, hadith can be from the Prophet or from companions of the Prophet. ويبدو أنهم يعدونها بمنزلة الكفر والشرك. Sometimes it seems some of them, they consider this as a kufr, disbelief, and shirk, polytheism. بل أشنع, sometimes even maybe worse. فكان هذا الاعتقاد من أكبر ما تنبذ به الشيعة الإمامية ويشنع به عليهم. This raj'ah has been one of the greatest things that they have attacked Shia and condemned Shia for that. ولا شك في أن هذا من نوع التحويلات التي تتخذها الطوائف الإسلامية فيما غبره ذريعة لطعن بعضها في بعض. He says there is no doubt that in the past, unfortunately, some sects used these methods to attack each other. It was a kind of propaganda machine. Otherwise, لا نرى في الواقع ما يبررها. We don't see anything that can justify in reality such, fright and creating such, fear about this issue. لأن الاعتقاد بالرجعة لا يخدش في عقيدة التوحيد. To believe in Raj'ah doesn't contradict and conflict with Tawheed. What is the problem of Raj'ah and Tawheed? ولا في عقيدة النبوة doesn't also conflict with prophethood. These are our principles of faith. So why you say someone who believes Raj'ah is kafir? بل يؤكد صحة العقيدة. Indeed, Raj'ah emphasizes and confirms the validity of Tawheed and Nubuwwah. Because who is going to bring these people back other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And this is also something that we have learned from the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, and it's a kind of mu'jiza that is going to happen. It's going to confirm more the truth of the Prophet. إذ الرجعة دليل القدرة البالغة لله تعالى. It's a sign of the power of Allah, which is baligha, can reach everything, like resurrection. وهي من الأمور الخارقة للعادة, and it's also an extraordinary act that can be a miracle for the Prophet. Either informing about it, it's a miracle, or when it happens, it's a miracle, because Prophet had claimed that this is going to happen. وهي أيضا معجزة إحياء الموتى. This is similar to the miracle of reviving the dead by Isa alayhi salam. بل أبلغ هنا. Here it's even stronger, because those that Isa alayhi salam was reviving had just died. But these people are people that have become already bones, and even their bones are spread and have become like dust. لأنها بعد أن يصبح الأموات رميما قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قال يحييها الذي أنشاها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم. In Surah Yasin. أو كالذي مر على قرية, someone said, who is going to revive these bones which are completely destroyed and have become like dust that can be spread and be thrown everywhere? And so in these torn out bones, who is going to revive? So this is more powerful than reviving someone who has just died. Some people say Raj'ah is a kind of tanasukh, a kind of incarnation. Tanasukh is batil. But what is tanasukh? Tanasukh is the idea that some people have had. For example, in Hinduism, it seems they have this idea that when someone dies, then they come back and their soul belongs now to, for example, an animal or to a human being, and based on how they lived the first time, this time are going to be put in a human being or animal that would be good, or for example in a human being that would be bad. So they are going to enjoy or suffer a second time because of the life they had in the first time. This idea we don't accept in Islam, that people come back to this world and will be put into different body and different kind of animals or human beings. We don't accept this. And tanasukh had different types. Sometimes was animal, sometimes was plants, sometimes was human being. There was fasq, masq, rasq, different types. But in general, they say tanasukh. But we say the same person will come back, not going to another person with a new identity, new father, new mother, no, the same person would come back. من طعن في الرجعة باعتبار أنها من التناسخ الباطل فلأنه لم يفرق بين معنى التناسخ وبين المعاد الجسماني. Whoever has objected that Raj'a is tanasukh, is incarnation, has not understood, has not distinguished between tanasukh and corporeal resurrection. Raj'a is a corporeal resurrection, a kind of, but it's in this world. But what is tanasukh? انتقال النفس من بدن إلى بدن آخر. From one body goes to another body which has nothing to do with the first body. وليس كذلك معنى المعاد الجسماني. This is not معاد الجسماني. فإن معناه, what is the meaning of معاد الجسماني, corporeal resurrection? Means going back to the same body, the same identity. Whatever is my identity, I have the same identity. I'm the same person. فكذلك الرجعة. In Raj'a also the same person. Actually the whole point is that the good people come, the bad people come, and they would see the situation by themselves. وإذا كانت الرجعة تناسخا. If you say this is a tanasukh, incarnation, okay, then what Isa alayhi salam did also was tanasukh. فإن أحياء الموتى على يد عيسى عليه السلام كان تناسخا. And also Ma'ad, also whole resurrection also will be tanasukh. وإذا كانت الرجعة تناسخا كان البعث والمعاد الجسماني also تناسخا. So tanasukh is not something that can be mentioned as an objection. There are two objections that you can make. One is to say it's mustahilatul wuqu, this is impossible to happen. The second is to say these hadiths are false, are not acceptable, are not reliable. He says, even if we accept these two problems, فإنه لا يعتبر الاعتقاد بها بالرجعة بهذه الدرجة من الشناعة التي حولها خصوم الشيعة. Even if we say it's muhal and these hadiths are not reliable, it doesn't make the belief in Raj'ah in such a bad and terrible situation that some enemies of the Shia have tried to present and frighten people about this issue. وكم من معتقدات لباقي طوائف المسلمين من الأمور المستحيلة أو التي لم يثبت فيها نص صحيح. There are many aqaid that other groups other than Shia, Muslims other than Shia have. They are not possible sometimes, but still they believe in them. Or the source is weak, but still they believe in them. ولكنها لم توجب تكفيرا وخروجا عن الإسلام. But we don't say they are kafir, we don't say they have gone out of Islam. There are many examples. For example, some Muslims say that the Prophet made mistake, sahwa nabi. Or isyanahi, sometimes they attribute some acts of disobedience to the Prophet or other prophets. Or for example, some say Quran was eternal. It didn't, come in Laylatul Qadr in the time of the Prophet. Or for example, some people say, about Wa'id, that Allah is not going to forgive people because He has promised to punish if someone doesn't do Tawbah. Remember we said Mu'tazila have this idea of Allah has to keep His promise for reward and has to keep His promise for punishment. He cannot forgive. Or for example, some people say Prophet didn't specifically mention who would be his successor. We believe that this is wrong. There are hadith against this, but we don't say whoever says this becomes kafir. But now let's go back to these two ideas. that it is mustahil, it's impossible, and the hadiths are not reliable. Let's see, are these two reliable or not? ألا أن هاتين المناقشتين لا أساس لهما من الصحة. These two objections have no basis of validity, means they are not valid. You say it's mustahil, it's impossible. Why it is impossible? Resurrection is possible. This is similar to resurrection. Isa alayhi salam brought the dead to this dunya was possible, so this is possible because it's similar to that. Amma anna raj'ata mustahilatun. The claim that raj'a is impossible, we said this is a kind of resurrection. The only thing is that resurrection is going to take place after this world. This is happening in a certain time in this world. غير أنها بحث موقوت في الدنيا. This is something that is going to happen in this world in آخر الزمان. والدليل على إمكان البحث. Whatever is the reason for possibility of resurrection is also reason for possibility of رجعة. ولا سبب الاستغراب. There is no reason for finding this, a little bit unlikely, and استغراب means that you feel it is strange. You don't have any reason, but you just do استغراب, means you feel it's قريب, it's odd, it's strange. The reason you feel like that is because we are not used to this. This is not something that we are used to it. This is not something that we have found it, happening a lot in dunya, that people come back. So because we haven't had this experience, we feel, for example, maybe it's strange. ولا نعرف من أسبابها أو موانعها ما يقربها إلى اعترافنا أو يبعدها. And we don't know how it happens, what are the causes, what are the obstacles, so that we can feel better or worse about it. We are in a state of lack of familiarity with this. And our khiyal, our imagination, or our ability, power of fantasy, wouldn't find it easy to accept something that is not used to it. Because we're not used to it, we find it difficult. And Allah says the same problem was for resurrection also. Man yuhyi al-'idama wa hiya ramim. They used to say, who is going to revive these bones which are damaged and destroyed? But Allah says, yuhyiha alladhi anshaha awwala marra. The same person that created them can't create them again. What is your issue with this? نعم في مثل ذلك مما لا دليل عقلي لنا على نفيه أو إثباته أو نتخيل عدم وجود الدليل يلزمنا الرجوع إلى النصوص الدينية. In such cases, if there is no rational proof for or against something, or we think there is no reason for it, in any case, when there is no decisive rational position, then we can go to the hadith, to religious text and scripture, which comes from revelation, either directly in the form of Quran or through the hadith which reflect revelation, because the sayings of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt are reflecting and exemplifying revelation. قد ورد في القرآن الكريم ما يثبت وقوع الرجعة إلى الدنيا لبعض الأموات. In the Quran we have some verses that proves that raj'a has occurred in dunya for some dead people. كمعجزة عيسى في إحياء الموتى. Jesus, peace be upon him, revived some dead people. This was one of the miracles of Isa alayhi salam. In Quran says on behalf of Isa alayhi salam, وَأُبْرَهُ الْأَكْمَهَ وَالْأَبْرَصَ وَأُحْيَ الْمَوْتَى بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. This إحياء الموتى بإذن الله, reviving the dead, is raj'ah. وكقوله تعالى أَنَّا يُحْيِي هذه الله بعد موتها أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية. Someone was passing by a village and saw people have died. He said, who is going to revive this? Allah made him dead for 100 years and then resurrected him. This is also raj'ah. Also the ayah 11 of Surah Kafir or Mu'min. قالوا ربنا أمتنا اثنتين وأحييتنا اثنتين فاعترفنا بذنوبنا فهل إلى خروج من سبيل. The meaning of this ayah would not be possible to understand it unless we say that it refers to coming back to dunya, so that we have two revival and then followed by two death. Although some mufassirin who don't believe in raj'ah, they have tried hard, they did takalluf, that means they tried hard and put themselves in difficulty to bring other interpretations. But those interpretations would not satisfy the thirst of someone who is burning by thirst. Means they don't benefit, and they cannot explain the ayah well. وَأَمَّا الْمُنَاقَشَةُ الثَّانِيَةِ The second objection was to say that these hadiths are not reliable. وَهِيَ دَعْوَ أَنَّ الْحَدِيثَ فِيهَا مَوْضُوعٌ To say these hadiths are fabricated. فَإِنَّهُ لَا وَجْهَ لَهَا This is not grounded in any base, in any good reason. It's baseless. Why? Because it's not one hadith, two hadiths, 10 hadiths, 20 hadiths. As I said, at least 200 hadiths, more than 200 hadiths are mentioned by some scholars that are about raj'ah. لأن الرجعة من الأمور الضرورية. It has become a kind of self-evident fact in the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. It has become like mutawatir. So this is the situation. Then he says, after this, aren't you surprised that a famous writer who claims to know a lot, like Ahmad Amin, in his book Fajrul Islam, he had different books. One was Fajrul Islam, one was Dhuha al-Islam. He said, اليهودية ظهرت في التشيع بالقول بالرجعة. He said this is the idea of Judaism, which has emerged as Shiism. When it comes to the idea of raj'ah, this is a Jewish idea, but the Shia have presented it, but it's coming from Jewish sources. He says, if this is the case, then you can say Judaism has also appeared in the Quran, because the Quran also mentions the idea of raj'ah. And then he says, we go further and say, actually, it's not a strange, because Judaism and Christianity, in many of their ideas, they are similar to Islam. Even in some of their ahkam rulings are similar to Islam. لأن النبي الأكرم جاء مصدقا لما بين يديه من الشرائع السماوية. Because Rasulullah didn't come to cancel previous religions and shara'i. Actually, Rasulullah came as a musaddiq, and Quran is muhaymin. Muhaymin means a guardian, means Quran is protecting previous scriptures. وَإِن نَسَخَ بَعْضَ أَحْكَامَ. Now, Islam has abrogated some of the rulings of previous shariah, as Islam has abrogated some of its own rulings. Some of the rulings in Islamic period during the life of the Prophet were cancelled. Quran has nasikh and mansukh. Many times we mentioned examples of, for example, they were not able to defend themselves, then Allah gave them right to defend. They were not able to have marital relation the nights of Ramadan, then Allah gave them permission. They were supposed to, for example, give sadaqah before whispering to the Prophet, then it was cancelled. Many things in Mecca were okay. Little by little they became prohibited. It's not that from the first day drinking wine was prohibited, from the first day riba was prohibited. It was permissible, then it was prohibited. In the sense that legislation came gradually. So, this is not a sign of Islam being totally, abrogating previous. فظهور اليهودية أو النصرانية في بعض المعتقدات الإسلامية ليس عيبا في الإسلام. He says this is not a problem, a deficiency in Islam, that some of the ideas of Judaism or Christianity appear in Islam. If he is right that return is a Jewish idea, because that is by itself something that needs investigation. على كل حال فالرجعة ليست من الأصول التي يجب الاعتقاد بها. This idea of raj'ah is not something that you must believe to become Muslim, to become a believer, or something that even you need to investigate. يجب الاعتقاد بها والنظر فيها. Even النظر فيها is not necessary. It means you don't need to investigate it. إنما اعتقادنا بها كان تبعا للآثار الصحيحة الواردة عن آل البيت. The reason we believe in this is because we follow hadith from Ahlul Bayt, which are authentic. We don't accept any hadith, but these are so many hadiths that even if some of them are not verified, there are so many authentic among them and so much repeated that leaves no doubt. And these hadiths have come from Ahlul Bayt الذين ندين بعصمتهم من الله. This is part of our faith that Ahlul Bayt are not lying, نعوذ بالله. وهي من الأمور الغيبية التي أخبروا عنها. This is one of the hidden things that they have informed us about it. ولا يمتنع وقوعها, and its occurrence is not impossible. Okay. So this is about the whole idea of raj'ah. I would like to make two more points. One, in some lectures I have explained the concept of raj'ah. Why we call this raj'ah, return. If you remember, we said there are few things that look the same but they are different, and because Quran is very accurate, for each of them has a different term. If someone dies, physically dies, and comes back, we call it ruju'. The reason is because he has left this dunya and is coming back, returns. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. So here ruju is used for coming back to this life, to this world. And this is the same thing that we need for raj'ah, coming back to this one. But then we have people whose souls are taken during the sleep. They have not died, but even during a sleep, our soul is taken. الله يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها. So when we sleep, our soul is taken, but not like death, similar to death, but is weaker than death, partial death. When someone is supposed not to wake up, فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ, this soul doesn't come back. But وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى, those who are supposed to continue their life till their ajal comes, their souls will be released. So this we call it irsal. Irsal means let it go. If someone let his